Well, hey everyone, and happy Wednesday evening. We only have 2 more days left of school. I can't believe it. Short week, short time that we're spending together. But I do want to thank everyone for doing an exceptional job and really working hard at getting their work done. It's really important that you understand the homework we're doing so that you're more successful later on down the line and algebra becomes a little bit more easier. So thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for taking that time to really make it work for you. Tonight's homework, we were talking about simplifying numerical expressions. And so this was on page 313 and 314, and we're doing even numbers. Okay, there we go. Even numbers. All right, and one of the things that I did tell y'all to write was the P, B, and so we can say, please bring, and I know period 1 was saying, or please behave, my dear Aunt Sally. And in period 2, we're saying, please bring my dad applesauce. Please bring my daughter amazing stickers. Period 1 said, please bring my dad asparagus salad. So that was a pretty good one as well. Very unique. So I love the creativity, and I think that came from Dizelle. So very creative. The awesome stickers, please bring my daughter awesome stickers. That came from Juliana. Great creativity. So I want you to think about which pictures you would like to have to remind you of the PB, like the parentheses, and I'm going to do it like this, the brackets, the multiplication, the division, the adding, and the subtracting. And so, again, this is, if you don't like people telling you what to do, you won't be as successful, because in this particular case, you have to follow the rules on this. Otherwise, you won't get your answers right. All right, so based on rule followers, let's hear it for following the rules. Yay! All right, let's get started on our first one. Again, we're doing even numbers, and we did this in class. So I noticed that on number 2, there are no parentheses, there are no brackets, so I'm moving on to the next one because it's next in line. And I'm going to put or, and I'm going to put or here. Okay, so it's either multiply or divide, add or subtract. So I'm looking at my problem. Which one do I have, multiply or divide? Yeah, I see division. So I'm going to underline that. I can underline it, or I can just put that in parentheses. 35 divided by 7. So how many groups of 7 go into 35 evenly? It's 5 groups. So I'm going to bring down my 5 right underneath this. I'm going to put my 5 in parentheses, so my brain will remember where I got that quotient from. So I'm going to cross this out. Now I'm ready to start again, so I need it to add 14 to it. And 14 plus 5 equals 19. And that's it. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to move on to number 4. Again, remember, we need to follow this order here. Look for the parentheses, look for brackets. If there's none, then is there a multiplication or a division? And then is there an addition or a subtraction? So look at number 4. Following the same thing. So I'm going to write this down so that I can see it better. PB, MD, AS. Okay, so please bring, could be please bring my dear Aunt Sally. So if you love Aunt Sally, bring her. Please bring my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so there are no parentheses, there are no brackets, and so is it multiplication or division? I see multiplication. And so 4 times 5 equals 20. And then the next step I'm going to do is subtract 25 from that. 25 minus 20 equals 5. And that's my answer. I'm moving over to number 6. Again, I'm following that same format. no parentheses, no brackets, no multiplication. So what's next in, it's multiplication or division. So there's no multiplication, but there is division. So 14 divided by 2. Well, 2 goes into 14 7 times. I'm done here. Now I can subtract out 30 minus 7, and that gives me 23 as my answer. Okay, and that's it on that one. Now, this next one, we're having to rewrite the expression with parentheses to equal the given value. Now, we're talking about value, so value will mean that this equation here will equal, the answer will be 3. So where would I put my parentheses? Well, let me put it on the first one. If I put my parentheses here, 42 minus 24. So what is 42 minus 24? Right, I'm going to work out the math for you for those of you that forget about regrouping so that we can see it on paper. Can I take 4 out of 2? Or 4 from 2? Remember, we talked about that language today. 4 from 2. No, we can't. So I have to regroup. This becomes a 3. My 2 now becomes a 12. Can I take 4 from 12, which my equation would be 12 minus 4. So remember to get that mentality. So I can take 4 from 12, and that leaves me with 8. Very good. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 3, can I take 2 from 3? Yes, I can, and it leaves me with 1. So now I have 18. And remember, I'm creating the parentheses. There were no parentheses, and I'm creating, where do my parentheses go? So now I'm going to bring down my division because I do everything in the parentheses first. Then my next step is multiply or divide. Well, I have a division. 18 divided by 6. Well, look at this. 3 groups of 6 goes into 18. So I have, my answer is 3. Let's look at the next one, number 10. All right. Well, and I worked with Gabriel in the cafeteria on this one, and so make sure that you line up everything and you kind of look at it because it got to be a little confusing. So I'm going to start with on another sheet of paper. Let me grab a sheet right here so that you can see how you can work these out. So I'm going to move this up here, and I'm going to put my parentheses, my brackets. So please bring my dear Aunt Sally. So my dear Aunt Sally. So I'm going to mark that already, and I'm going to place my equation. 60 minus 3 plus 2 times 5, and it's supposed to equal to 35. So how would I get that one? Well, first things first is, let me try to put my parentheses on the first one. So now I have to do everything in the parentheses first. So 60 minus 3 is 57. I'm going to cross that out because I'm done. I need to go left to right. 57 plus 2 is 59. And now I bring down my 5. 59 times 5. Is that going to equal to 35? No. So this pattern will not work. Now I'm going to repeat my same number. So I'm going to write down my digits and my numbers again. So it's 60 minus 3 plus 2 times 5. Now I'm going to move it over. So I'm going to move my parentheses over to the next set of numbers. Now remember, I look for my parentheses and my brackets. I don't have brackets, but I do have parentheses. And I'm going to do everything in my parentheses first. So 3 plus 2 is 5. And I'm going to put my parentheses here around there so I know where I got my 5 from. Well, I have to go from left to right. So my next thing that I'm going to do is multiply. So I went to parentheses. Next is multiply or divide. So I need to multiply or divide. I had multiplication. 5 times 5 is 25. I'm going to raise that up. And now add or subtract. Well, I'm going to subtract, so it's 60 minus 25. And so I'm going to show you this way. Can I take 5 from 0? No way. So I'm going to cross out my 6 to regroup. That becomes a 5 and bring that 10 over. Now, can I take 5 from 10? Yes. That's a 5. Can I take 2 from 5? Yes. That makes it a 3. And so does that check out for my 35? Yes, it does. So I found the formula to get the value of 35. So in my answer, I'm going to put my parentheses around the 3 and around the 2. And remember, I need it to go from left to right. So I'm going to rewrite that where it would be 60 minus and 3 plus 2 times 5. Okay? And let's look at number 12. 5 times 2 divided by 4 plus 3. And I need to come up with the value of 45. Okay, well, I'm going to actually flip my paper over. Ignore the little 2 here. I was making some copies. All right, so I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to put, please bring my dear Aunt Sally. Please bring my daughter awesome stickers. Please bring my dad asparagus salad. Please bring my dad apple slices. So whatever you want. You can put please bring mom or dad apple slices. Whichever one you want to do, to remember that parentheses, you're looking for any parentheses, brackets, multiplication, division is next. Adding or subtracting is next on that one. All right, so number 12. I'm going to write down this long equation, 5 times 2 plus 4 plus 3. And it needs to equal to 45. My job is to put parentheses. So I'm going to put parentheses around the first 2 sets of numbers. Anything I do in my parentheses, I need to do first. So 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4. Okay, so I'm going to put parentheses around my 10 so I know where I got that. Cross that out. It's plus 4. That makes it 14. And now I need to add my 3. That makes it 17. Not even close to what I need to do. All right, now I'm going to rewrite that same number. 5 times 2 plus 4 plus 3. Let me move my parentheses over from here to the next set. So now I'm going to have 2 plus 4. So remember, parentheses, brackets I'm going to look for. So what do I see here in my problem? Yeah, I see parentheses. Everything in my side parentheses I must do first. That takes, because it's first in line. So 2 plus 4 equals 6. I'm moving from left to right. But let's look at this. Next one is going to be multiplication. So it would be 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 30. Next is adding or subtracting, and it becomes a 33. Is that correct? Nope, not at all. So I'm going to cross that part out and move up. I'm going to rewrite my problem at 5 times 2 plus 4 plus 3. And let's take a look at this. What could I do? Can I group up all my